and welcome to another edition of Beer for Breakfast ABV. I'm Danielle, and I'm on the Moog Show here at 91X Monday through Friday from 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. As always, I have Paul Segura, Brewmaster of Research and Development at Karl Strauss. And today we are welcomed by Carly Smith. Carly Smith is the brewmaster at Bold Missy Brewery in Charlotte, North Carolina. Yeah. But Carly is no stranger to the San Diego beer scene nor Beer for Breakfast. She used to be the brewmaster over at Rock Bottom. Yep. Welcome home.
Thank you. It's nice to be home.
What have you been doing out there in North Carolina?
And why did you leave us?
I just wanted to spread the San Diego beer love out to the rest of the country. You know, everybody needs to kind of feel the love, the San Diego beer love. But I came back.
How's the reception?
It's been very good. You know, people are very intrigued to kind of see how my beer style, brewing style differs from everybody else across the country and in Charlotte and on the East Coast. Definitely they're very strong on the haze train out there. So
how's the reception been so far?
Really good. Everybody's really liked the beers that I've been doing. My West Coast IPA is one of our now best-selling IPA, best-selling beers in general.
You know what we're doing.
Yeah, right? I know, yeah. So you can make a really tasty non-hazy IPA, huh?
Were you taking over for somebody else who
left?
Yes,
there was a brewer before me, and he left, and I took over for him.
Okay.
So.
And this is female-operated brewery, right?
So yeah, female-owned. It's the first female-owned brewery in Charlotte, and we've got obviously a female ownership, female sales rep, female tasting room manager, obviously a female brewer. But we also have a male sales rep. We have a lot of men that work in our tasting rooms. It's always really funny when people come in and they're like, "Oh, there's a guy working." Like, well, yes, we're equal opportunity hiring. Mm-hmm. So we just hire people who are the best suited for the job, and it's been really cool. It's a really welcoming environment that people kind of enjoy.
Awesome.
Right on. Just a lot of estrogen.
Yeah. Yeah. There's
That's okay. Hops are high in phytoestrogen.
Yeah.
There you go. There you are. Well, I know that you have seen this craze recently on social media, the glitter beer. You also might recognize Carly because she's done a lot of interviews about this beer, and she brought the glitter beer with her. I'm so excited about this.
Yeah.
So kind of address the glitter beer. Tell us a little bit about it.
So this is our Trapper Keeper. So all of our beers are named for bold women from history, whether it's contemporary or from back in the day. And so this one was named for Lisa Frank. I was born in the 90s.
Yes.
I'm a millennial.
Look at the glitter beer!
But it's really fun. But yeah, so when I was designing the beer, I knew I wanted to have...
I love the way that it just swirls.
Yeah, so it's a really fun... And it's
Check it out.
Oh, it smells delicious too.
Yeah, so it's a pink peppercorn lemon saison. So for me, there's certain ways that I start with a beer, whether it's I'm looking at a beer style or I'm looking at a certain ingredient, whether it's hops or malt. Now with this new brewery that I'm working for, sometimes we think of women that we want to celebrate, and then I kind of design a beer around them. So for me, Lisa Frank is just all of her stuff is so vibrant, bright colors, and just so happy. And to me, I was just pink peppercorn, lemon, bright colors, and then saisons are always just, such a happy beer.
Bright beers.
Yeah.
Usually dry. Mm-hmm. So you have to go out and do research on each one of these people before you make a beer.
Yep, pretty much. So then, it's got a food grade glitter, so it does. I'm sorry, Paul, your pee is not going to be sparkling.
It's not going to look like a rainbow.
No, it's not. I'm sorry, but it breaks down in your stomach. It will even break down in the beer if it sits in the beer for too long. So that's one of the reasons why I tell people we're not going to can this.
Yeah,
we're not going to bottle it. It's mostly just for draft, but it totally breaks down in your system. It's not bad for the environment.
I love it.
Doesn't mess with the equipment.
Try this.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Oh yeah, I'm anxious
Cheers.
So you can some just for us.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It smells and tastes like saison.
Yeah. So the glitter doesn't have any effect on the flavor.
Yeah.
It's just something fun. To me, craft beer is always supposed to be about fun and, not taking yourself too seriously. It's beer.
Agreed. Yeah.
So
So
what?
saisons are already kind of peppery. By using pink peppercorns, you kind of boosted that up.
Boosted the pepper, the spiciness, and then pink peppercorns, I found, to me, they're a little bit more of a floral spicy versus the kind of the black or the green peppercorns, which kind of tend more towards just like the pepper spice.
Right.
So I like it kind of adds another little facet to the kind of flavor profile.
Well, the lemons kind of come in late and make it kind of spritzy and
Yeah,
dry.
kind of rounds it out a little bit.
It's a great beer.
It's a really good beer.
It's more than just a gimmick with the glitter,
It is.
right?
It's more
actually
than just a gimmick. It's actually a good, tasty beer.
Well, and can you kind of address that? Can
Yes.
you address the glitter beer haters, the ones that are just
Yes.
like, what are you
All right.
doing?
All right, glitter beer haters. Just because there's glitter in the beer doesn't mean it's not tasty. It's, it's a great, delicious beer. We just put glitter in it to be fun. And it is fun. And you know what? I had fun with it, and I really don't take that kind of stuff too seriously. So if people can say what they want to say. They don't have to drink it. I'll drink it.
How difficult is it to make a glitter beer versus,
It's
any other
obvious-
saison?
Yeah, so it's really just kind of on the back end. The whole production, boiling, fermentation is all exactly the same. Carbonating, I do that all the same. Just when we're kegging the beer, the glitter goes in first, and then we put beer on top of that, and then it just sits in there. And
Oh, no kidding.
It does fine. And then
How do you get
normal.
it into the keg? Do you have to put it in
so-
some kind of liquid?
No, so I've tried
the
a couple
spear out?
different ways. I just pit it straight in through the stem.
Oh, wow.
And it works fine, and I do it dry because I've tried doing it like I've mixed it and then put it in, and then it's really messy that way. Dry is like kind of the best way to do it. It's a super fine, like if you look at it, it's very shimmery glitter. So it's a very fine dust, and so it's like an opalescent like glitter type of a thing.
Totally is.
So it's really easy to just kind of dump in there and then put the beer on top of it, and it works. It's a very small amount. Small amount of glitter goes a very long way.
Well, that's true in life.
Yes,
in general.
true in life in
Anytime you see
general.
glitter at all.
I bet
Yes.
you also get people who might order this for the glitter and then
They realize they taste
realize,
it.
okay,
and-
now I kind of know what a saison is. This beer tastes good.
And out there, saisons are not a super popular style out there, so I feel like it's been really cool for me to kind of educate the beer drinkers on new styles of beer that they might not be super familiar with.
Are you selling a boatload of this?
Oh my gosh, we sold it like crazy. And then we had the beer on for about 3 weeks before it went viral and crazy on the internet. Thanks Beth, who wrote for Munchies. She's a San Diego native. And so we had people calling from all over the world as well as in the US, and we only self-distribute locally in Charlotte. So everybody's like, can we get this? Are you canning it? And we're like, no, not really.
Yeah.
So that was really cool, but then we only had it on for like another 2 weeks because we'd already had it on for 3 weeks. And so everybody's like, what do you mean you're already out of it? And we're like, well,
It's been around.
It's been around for a little
that's
while.
got to be exciting. You're into this new brewery,
Yeah.
and like it's a smash.
Yeah.
So do you see this being, maybe a series that you have? Well,
no, this will definitely be the one and only glitter beer. I do not want it to be a kitschy thing. Like I
think it's too late. It's already out there. It's already caught on.
I'll definitely do the Trapper Keeper again. Like I think this beer, it's Lisa Frank. It deserves glitter.
So you're always forever going to be like credited with the person who pioneered the glitter beer, just like Vinny
I
Salorzo
think
with the
I
triple
just
IPA.
somehow was like in the right place at the right time, because I definitely did not come up with glitter beer. It's been
No?
it's been around for a while. Like I've done it a few times over the last 3 years, and I know at least for the last 6 years, Alex Knoll at Three Weavers, she's made Mel's Sparkle Pony
wow.
for
Okay.
Brewbies. So Mel, who started Brewbies, she's made Mel's Sparkle Pony, which is a hibiscus IPA, for Brewbies every year, and she's the one who taught me how to do it. Pretty much everyone I know that has like made glitter beer is like, oh yeah, I talked to Alex. Like that's what you do. It's like, so Alex is for sure the one who
So
mostly
you're deferring
pioneered.
blame. I see how it is.
Yes, yeah.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't me. I mean, I definitely took it viral in some way, but I think it was also, the glass that we poured all of our marketing had our logo super well branded, so then that came out pretty.
You know what else about this
crazy.
beer? One last thing. 7.2 ABV. It doesn't drink like it. It
Yeah.
really drinks like 5 or 5.2.
Yeah.
It's a sniper.
It is. It's like I've got a few of those.
So on to our next one. We've got Long Live the Queen City Hazy IPA. Coming in at 7.2. I mean, it's definitely got the haze, but it doesn't look like that giant yeast bomb that we see from time to time.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
My gut thanks you for that.
Yeah. For me, so this was our Pink Boots collaboration beer. So this has the Pink Boots hop blend, which was Mosaic, Citra, Laurel, and Palisades.
It's a beautiful blend.
Really great blend.
Yeah.
I know it's like I feel bad taking credit. Everybody's been really loving this beer back in Charlotte, but I feel bad taking credit. I'm like, I just made, kind of a really simple, malt bill with, 2-row wheat, rolled oats, and some naked oats. And the hops are really kind of the star of it. And all I did was, it's just the hop blend. So it's like I feel bad taking credit for it because I didn't do too much. But
it's a beautiful beer.
But
By the way, they wrote a huge check to the Pink Boots Society from the sales of that beer, something to like $30,000 to the Pink Boots.
So which has been really awesome because we're getting this like huge. It was a really good fundraising opportunity because not only were we getting funds raised from the sale of the hops, from all of the breweries buying the hops, but then everybody is donating from the sale of the beers too. So it's been a really great fundraising, double dipping on those fundraising.
So speaking of Pink Boots, you were very involved with Pink Boots here in San Diego.
Yeah.
And we've had a great chapter here, some really amazing women. How is Pink Boots out on the East Coast versus here?
It's a little different. They're not quite as established. Out there, the San Diego Pink Boots chapter is the biggest chapter in the world, so it's a lot more organized. There's like more regular meetings out here. Out there, they're a little bit more spread out. In North Carolina right now, we're working on organizing city chapters versus region chapters. So right now they would have a East and West region, but the closest meeting to me in Charlotte was like 2.5 hours away.
Oh, goodness.
Wow.
So it's like with the beer, the way working is, and I'm working by myself in the production side right now, it's just like, that's just never going to happen. That's just never going to be a feasible thing. So I've been working with them, kind of trying to explain to them that, the Charlotte, women in Charlotte, there's a lot of women in Charlotte. We did, it was the first brew in Pink Boots Brew in Charlotte, and we had like 20, 30 women there.
Oh, wow.
And there were, which was weird to me, that there were women that were just meeting each other for the first time. They've been working in the industry for years, but they didn't know each other because there's not a, this Pink Boots community that's like bringing them together. So I'm working on that.
Ulrich?
Yeah. Pink Boots, bringing people together.
Regional manager here.
I know. Well, Laura and I talked about it because originally when I was thinking about it, I was just like, well, I can do a Charlotte chapter. I did the San Diego chapter. But Laura and I talked about it. We're like, I'm too busy to do a Charlotte chapter. It's a lot of work. And I'm like all for like helping. We have a couple girls that are going to be doing a Charlotte chapter. And I'm going to be helping them with advice and like that kind of stuff. Yeah. But I don't have the time personally to run a chapter these days.
Maybe there's somebody over there that can kind of...
Yeah, we do have some really great girls that are going to be doing it.
Well, this is
hats off on this beer.
Yeah,
it's
really good. It's a really good balance. Like I said, it's not super yeasty, which I appreciate because, I don't know, sometimes I see these hazy IPAs and like people go crazy for them and then I try it and it's like, it's not a bad beer. It's just not quite what I'm looking for.
What I'm looking to drink. Yeah, for me, it's... with me, food as well as beer, it's a texture thing, it's a mouthfeel thing. And a lot of times they just feel kind of gritty and like just like heavy, really heavy mouthfeel and like a cloying, like if they're not fully attenuated, like I find this like a little bit of cloying sweetness on the finish, and then it's like, it doesn't make me want to take another sip. And like I feel like the finish is a huge thing with beers. It's just a lot of times why I like to dry my beers out really well. Because when I take a sip, I want people to want to take another sip once they finish that sip. Like that's how
you say something about that, don't you?
Yeah, I love that. To me, that's a sign of a good beer is one that leaves you wanting another sip. But how do you get the dryness? Are you using a different strain of yeast, or are you just like mashing really low?
I feel like I don't mash super low. I think I probably mash a little bit lower than some other people do. But I like to, really let the yeast do its job and finish out that way that there's no there's no residual sugars in there that are leaving a really like a little bit of heaviness on the tail end. I think my IPAs usually finish out around from like 1.5 to 2.5. My other beers, like my brown ale, finishes out between like 2, 2.5, 3. I just like to make sure that everything kind of finishes out and that, you know, you're really getting the beer and not some like just a lot of extra sugar.
And is it the leftover residual sugars that kind of like give you that bloaty feeling? Is that what that is? Like
Usually the carbonation for,
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah, I think it depends. I think it's a combination. To me, I get really bad headaches because of the sugars. I think from beers that aren't like IPAs that have a lot of that between the hops and the residual sugars. I get really bad headaches from beers that aren't like fully attenuated.
I get headaches sometimes from beer too.
Yeah.
You know, some of it could be higher alcohols and stuff too. If warm fermentation kind of creates those, and I get those once in a while as well. But oftentimes for me, it's just too much alcohol.
Too much beer.
Not
Not
enough.
enough water.
Yeah, water as you're drinking.
There's water in beer. Lots of water in beer.
Great beer. It's really
Good.
juicy, really orangey. You also
Yeah.
get a little bit of the tropical flavors from like the mosaic in there.
And then I use Cal Ale on most everything, but we use the Vermont strain on this.
delicious.
I'm a fan. I think it's great. I think, you know, like you said, it finishes really clean. It
Yeah.
doesn't stick with you. It
Yes.
doesn't, you know, not like struggling to get through it.
Yes, yeah, for sure.
Oh, we're ramping it up.
Oh, yes. We're going up
8.6%.
8.6%.
Yeah.
What are we working with here?
So this is our Belgian triple. So it's a really simple beer.
Triple toe loop is
Triple
what it's
toe
called.
loop. So this is named for Michelle Kwan.
All right.
Yes, I guess so. Long live the Queen City. So we did it named after Queen Charlotte, the city of Charlotte is named after, and because it was all the women in the beer industry in Charlotte, we all came together and brewed the beer. So we wanted to name it after the city. Awesome. So Triple Toe Loop is named for Michelle Kwan. Because it's Michelle Kwan.
How can you not?
She's
Kwan.
awesome. So it's a Belgian triple.
Looks like it's filtered.
It's biofined.
Biofined. Looks bright.
Yeah, super bright. Pretty light bodied.
Smells like a triple. You get a little bit of that banana.
Yeah.
You also get some of the musty aroma, like that smell when the rain hits the street, like that sort of dusty, musty smell.
Yep.
And it's a little spritzy.
What?
Yeah, I don't know how to. It's like a dusty, musty. You get it?
I get it. It's like
I don't know how else to describe
I
it.
know.
Like,
But like it's a good musty. It's not like
if it hasn't
your
rained-
grandma's closet
right.
musty.
It's not like mothball musty.
No, I
or
just
whatever.
love your descriptions. Like, I love your descriptions.
Musty is probably different to different people. So like
Yeah.
for me, it's always kind of like when it hasn't rained for a while and the rain hits the street and it kind of
Yeah.
kicks up the dust a little bit, and then you kind of
wet dust.
wet dust.
So this is a Belgian triple, really simple malt bill, and just kind of lets the yeast shine and warm fermentation. So
Nice.
lots of
It's not super phenolic, so you don't get
Yeah.
all the Band-Aid, but you do get this sort of lemon rind.
yeah,
You get a little
fruitiness.
banana. It's got a
little
really nice
fruity
spritzy character.
spiciness. Yeah.
Nice and
So
dry.
Then again, let
Good
it dry
job.
out.
Yeah. You like your dry beers.
So tell me a little bit about Bold Missy Brewery. How old are you guys? A little background.
So Bold Missy Brewery will be turning 1 in May. We're gonna have a big little parking lot party. I'm gonna be doing special releases of our core beers, these are our core beers.
Which these are awesome.
Right?
These
I
posters are
know.
so great.
I love our logos.
I think that you guys need like a 6th one.
Yep.
You know,
Right
maybe
here.
like the mermaid.
How come they all
You
look
know?
like you?
They do kind of all look like you actually.
So these were designed before I started there. Before I started there. Yeah. But so these are our core beers. So we've got Get Your Gun Golden, named for Annie Oakley. Rocket Ride IPA, which is an American IPA, named for Sally Ride. We've got Solo Flight. It's a brown ale. We'll talk about that later,
Amelia
but we're
Earhart.
having that one next. That's Amelia Earhart. We've got Find a Way Wheat, which is Diana Nyad. And then we've got Conquer the Route Chocolate Stout, which is Allison Levine. So
This is so awesome.
Yeah, so it's
Was
really,
she the first woman to get up Mount Everest?
No, but she's one of the only women who has climbed the tallest mountain on every continent, and she's also skied to the north and south poles.
Wow, she's a stud.
So she's really badass, and I've met her at the brewery before.
No kidding.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was really cool. She's a really cool person. So she came for the first release of the beer, and then we're gonna have an anniversary of the first release because we put some of the chocolate stout into barrels and we've been barrel aging it. So we're gonna do a bottle release for that. But
Are
so
you
for
going cocoa nibs in the barrels, or those sort of?
it's a chalaca, so it's a
Okay,
so from so that went into the fermenter.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
Gosh, I'm just thinking about all like the strong women in history. It makes me really excited to see what else you guys are going to come out with. Because like I'm like thinking in my head, and I have all these different people like coming to mind, and I'm like, oh god.
And please send me those when you get, because we have a book and we just keep on adding lists to the book. We've had people say like, oh well, you're gonna run out of people, and we're like, are you serious right now? Like,
no.
So it's been
Gotta be
really
like a
fun.
Ronda Rousey red, or
Yeah.
I was even thinking like Princess Di.
yeah.
Princess Di would be a good one.
Yeah. We're gonna stay very
Oprah,
far.
everybody gets a car.
So we did. We did before I got there. They did do a lager, and it was, and you get a lager, and you get a lager.
Yes.
We're gonna stay far away from Beyonce. She
Please.
doesn't like when you name beer after her. But yeah, it's been really fun to like really get to. Our kind of story is we want to celebrate women. We're not trying to be exclusive and trying to like.
You're not like anti-man.
We're not anti-man. Like, we have a lot of men that work in our tasting room, and there's a lot of times I thought it might be, not exactly the most comfortable tasting room for men to come into, but it's very, I love being in the South and in Charlotte because there's brick everywhere. All of the buildings are brick because there's no earthquakes.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
So our tasting room is really nice, really comfortable, very kind of like brick and then mixing with modern. But there's times when I come out from the brewery in the back, or if like I've got big windows where my brew deck is and I can look into the tasting room and I see, and there's only men in our tasting room. Like there's not just like men coming with, their girlfriends or their wives or their girlfriends, friends that are girls. There are men just coming to our tasting room to drink our beer and just enjoy it, and it's really, really cool to see. Like I wasn't sure how that kind of dynamic was going to be, but it's just a really comfortable environment, and we're just celebrating women.
That's awesome.
With
Well,
beer.
men like to celebrate women.
Exactly. So it's like, it's definitely been a very cool thing to kind of witness and be a part of, and I think it's really cool.
Has
It's been a long time coming, huh? I mean, this used to be such a male-dominated industry.
Yes. And I think that's one of the reasons why there's been such an uproar with the glitter beer, because, glitter, it's more of a feminine thing. And everybody's like, well, you can't put that in my beer. Like beer is
why
it's
not?
manly, and it's, and it's like, I think,
Like it can be pretty too.
It can be pretty too, yeah.
So, not to digress too
No,
much,
yeah.
but you got your start at Gordon Biersch here in San Diego, brewing with Doug Hasker.
I did, yes.
Down there. So applause to Doug for picking
Yep.
out a good, well-deserving female to bring into the brewery and kind of teach
thanks.
the trade as well.
Yeah, it's been really great. I got to work with Doug at Gordon Biersch, and then I got to work with Marty Magnola at Rock Bottom, which is now Second Chance, and
Yeah.
they've been doing really, really awesome, which is
Yeah.
really cool for me to see. I stopped by their brewery while I was in town, and it was I was having this weird little deja vu of when I walked into their building before a single piece of equipment was in there, and how big the space felt. Now I walk in there, I'm like, oh my gosh, where are you going to put 3 more tanks? Because they've got plans to put 3 more tanks, and I'm like, where are you going to put those? They've got a canning line in there now. It's a 30-barrel system. It's super cool to see how well they've been doing.
They're going to have to cut into the cornhole
I know,
area.
right? I know they're going to have to start ebbing into that cornhole.
So being from San Diego and being out in North Carolina, when people find out you're from San Diego, what is the reaction, especially when it comes to beer?
Yes, beer, everybody is really stoked on it about me being out there, I think, just because there is a lot of knowledge that is in San Diego that we have that I think we take for granted. And it's been really cool to kind of educate people on stuff that's not really the norm. And I always get so beer-wise, people are always really excited about it. Oh, you were a brewer in San Diego? Your beers must be so good. And it's and then there's
Well, as a matter of fact, they are.
Yes, And then there's the other people that are like, so you must be really miss the ocean. You must like miss surfing. And I was like, I know how to surf, but I was never really I didn't surf all the time. I never was like one of those people that surfed all the time. Sorry, Paul. I was more like, I loved snowboarding. And so, but now that I'm out in Charlotte, one of the things that they do out there is they do the wake surfing. So you surf behind the wake of a boat. And it's actually like really cool and fun. And I'm actually
like, who needs an ocean?
Yeah, I mean,
Well, no, you
as long as I've got a body of water, I'm usually happy. So it's really cool to see all of the different outdoor things that there are out there. But yeah, everybody always thinks it's really cool that I'm from California. You're from California?
That's
oh
so
my gosh,
cool.
that's so cool. Like, you're so cool.
Wake surfing is fun. I've done it. You know, and you put a lot of ballast on the tail end of the boat, and you can actually surf without it, holding on or whatever. But, but there's something about surfing a wave, a wave.
So what are we finishing with today?
So we're finishing with my favorite beer. This is my Solo Flight Brown Ale. So this is our Amelia Earhart. One of my deal breakers when I was signing on with this company was it was originally slated to be an American brown ale. That's why it says American brown ale on the poster. But my favorite style of beer is English brown ales. So when I signed on with them, I've been working on this brown ale recipe for about 3 years. So we either change it to an English style brown ale, or we're just not going to work out. So I was like, I told them it was a deal breaker.
Nice.
And they were like, but luckily I had my brown with me for them to taste. And they were like, okay, yeah, we can change it to this.
All right, we're sold.
Yeah, so this is my favorite style of beer. It's really kind of nutty, a little bit of carameliness. One of the most recent additions to the recipe, by recent I mean like last year, I put Simpson's DRC, the double roasted crystal, which gives a lot of really great color, but it's not a really heavy malt. It's got more, not so much the coffee chocolate characteristics. It has the kind of date, raisin, really rich caramel notes in it because they double roast it at lower temperatures.
Okay.
I get some toast and some cocoa from this.
I like how toasty it
I get
is.
the caramel and some toffee.
Yeah.
Wow, that's nice.
But still kind of a lighter body, not super, like not heavy like a porter.
Yeah. But it's got all those great flavors without feeling like bogged down. Like this isn't the beer that you finish the night with. This is one that you can just continue to drink, and it's not going to put you under the table.
This is one that definitely leaves you wanting more.
Yeah.
And it's got a thicker mouthfeel, like maybe some oats or something.
Yeah,
in
I've
there.
got Simpson's Golden Naked Oats in
Those
there.
are delicious.
Yeah.
I love those.
Do
like brewer's
brown ales ever get barrel aged?
Yes, I have barrel aged them. One of the really cool things that I was actually going to talk to some of the Cutwater people out here when I was out there that we did over in Charlotte, because we just had our Charlotte Craft Beer Week last week, is a local distillery had some smaller barrels. They were like probably about maybe like 30-gallon barrels, and they, probably like 20-gallon barrels. And so little baby guys, and they gave them the same barrel to 12 different breweries, and we all put different beers in it, and then we put them all on tap at a tap takeover.
Oh, that's fun!
Right? And it's really cool. It's a good educational thing for guests to come in. Like, they all went into the same barrel, but it's a different beer. So like, can you taste the barrel in each of the beers, along with like how the different beers focus and spotlight the barrel itself. So we did my brown ale with, so it was a whiskey barrel, and then we did my brown ale with Madagascar vanilla beans. And it was really tasty.
This with
delicious.
So that would be like cocoa mixed with vanilla.
That sounds
like a
really, really
dessert.
good. Oh.
Yeah, it was really good. But I was like, I want to talk to some Cutwater people to be like, you guys should do this for SD Beer Week.
Yeah.
It was such a cool event.
That's a great
So
idea.
how is like Charlotte Beer Week compared to San Diego Beer Week?
Is it 10 days?
It is 10 days, and it's a lot. It's not quite as much as San Diego Beer Week is. We're at about 30 breweries versus, I keep out there saying 160, but somebody told me that we're closer to 175 or 180 now.
I think that was like a recent that I heard also.
Yeah, I just left in December and we've like jumped 20 breweries. But yeah, so it's not quite as big of a thing yet, because I can see it becoming a big thing. The Charlotte craft beer scene is definitely growing, but it's not quite as much of a tourist draw yet. And so I think San Diego Craft Beer Week brings a lot of people from all over the world to San Diego, which the Brewers Guild and the San Diego Tourism Board do such an amazing job with advertising the SD Beer Week. So it's definitely getting there, but it's really cool to see.
I think all the
difference.
medals that San Diego has won too kind of,
gives it international notoriety.
Right,
Yeah.
so when you win 5 medals at the World Beer Cup, it's happening, a month and a half or so?
I didn't enter World Beer Cup. I'm still getting adjusted.
What?
I don't know. But
You're going to enter GABF, right? I was like, you're going to enter GABF.
Yeah.
I'm kind of not giving you a choice, even though I have no say in your life right now. You can't not.
Yeah. I mean, I'm here. You have some say in my
Well,
life.
just a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, this is a great representation of what you're doing out in North Carolina. And I know that, I speak for myself, or you can speak for Paul, and all of San Diego. We are so freaking proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
And what
Yes.
you're doing is huge. And, even beyond, the blow up of the glitter beer, you know what I mean? Even beyond that, you are making San Diego super proud out there.
Oh, thank you.
She also wins the award for the longest traveled
Yes.
person on the Beer for Breakfast show.
Yeah, so,
She beats out New Belgium.
Yeah.
Cosmo, if you're watching, I think that you're the only
called
one
you
that's
out.
further than Carly
Calling
now.
you out.
Just saying. Well, very cool. Thank you for bringing all these beers. I'm sure it's not easy bringing these on an airplane across country.
Yeah, it's not a problem.
But we greatly appreciate it. Carly Smith, brewmaster at Bold Missy Brewery, Charlotte, North Carolina. This is the woman who went viral for the glitter beer. So, she's kind of a celebrity.
Oh my gosh.
As always, Paul Segura, thanks for hanging out with me
Thanks for
today,
having me.
tasting beers. And thank you for watching. You can find all of our previous episodes of Beer for Breakfast ABV at 91x.com. And you can hear the on-air version every Friday morning at 8:45. Paul brings in beers, and that's what you should be drinking this weekend. So come on, I know you're not actually working at 8:45. So, all right, thanks and cheers.
Cheers.